crafting and talking show, Craftversations. We are back, and this month, our illustrious guest is the very incredible Daniel Vincent Gordh.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Thanks for noticing how illustrious I am.
You're
also,
so illustrious.
Illustrious as can be. I don't even know what illustrious means.
I think like shiny.
Accomplished? No, just shiny. Just glimmery. Just reflective.
Yeah, very reflective. I'm sure you remember Daniel from the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, where you probably swooned over him a lot if you watched that show. And maybe other things like Hipsterhood and Hollywood Acting Studio. He says that he is not a crafty person, but I think we're going to prove you wrong today,
okay.
Daniel. I think this is your time.
This is my one chance to succeed. This is my one chance to succeed at something.
You're done.
I'm done for.
So today we are making some wall art. If you would like to craft along, you will need a few things. You will need some letter stickers. They don't have to be orange. They can be any color.
Or as they're noted at the top, bubbleabilities.
Bubbleabilities. You will need some paint and paint brushes. And you'll need a canvas. Now, I have already done some prep work today for this craft. And I have Mod Podged sheet music to the canvas. And we are going to be painting over it.
What is this sheet music from?
That's a great question.
Go and get ready. There's so much to do.
It's from my old musical theater collection that I just pulled out of a drawer over there that I have not touched. I think these ones are from the Wild Party.
Kate. Could be Kiss Me Kate. It might be for the Wild Party.
So we're going to put on the letters in like some sort of saying or something that we want, and then we're going to paint over it and then peel off the letters, and it'll look really cool.
Cool.
So, shall we?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Good. I don't know what I'm going to say.
I know, I'm sorry. I should have prepped you.
Gosh.
I have decided to do my favorite quote from Lord of the Rings, I think, which is
Mr. Frodo. I'm still here.
That's it.
Right?
That's it. That's what I'm going to put. Go forth and fear no darkness, which is what I always said I would get as a tattoo.
Go forth and fear no darkness?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's what King Theoden yells before they ride into battle at Pelennor Fields.
I think I'm going to do it's kind of the opposite, frankly. It's just going to say fear everything.
Fear is life.
Fear is life. Life is fear. Get used to it.
I like that. That's good. I don't know. You might not be able to fit it all on there, but
no, let's see.
You can try. Okay, so I actually have some open ones because I did a pre-run. I did a preamble. So yeah, just get going and stick on the stickers, and there we go. Do I need to give you a minute to figure out what you're gonna? Okay.
I'm think about this.
Want to talk to. I don't want to.
Everyone, shut up.
Don't want to distract you while you figure out what you're gonna say.
I'm just gonna go into a deep meditation.
Okay, you can do it.
No, what am I gonna say?
I don't know.
I want something cool. Like that's pretty cool.
I did one earlier. That is, of course, from You Are My Sunshine.
You know, I think I know what I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daniel.
Yes.
You and I met on the Lizzie Bennet Diaries.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
I guess we did, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Wait, the color of these isn't going to, be part of this,
we're
right?
Gonna
we're painting around it.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to paint over it, so the color does not matter.
This is not part of this whole situation.
Understandably, I understand your precaution, because the colors are kind of weird. That's just for the letter spaces.
Yeah, so we met on the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. I would wager.
I would wager. How was that for you?
How was that for me? Overwhelming.
Yeah?
It was quite an experience, wasn't it?
It was. Somebody asked, and I am curious for you. Well, I think you, of all the cast, maybe have, the most singular experience in terms of you came in late, so, it was already kind of a big, crazy deal, but you had the added pressure of, being Darcy, which nobody else that came in late had.
Right.
So that was, super crazy, and obviously everybody just sort of flocked to you once you were there.
It was interesting in that way, because I was entering something that was already happening, and then I didn't really have any sense of what it was And any of my YouTube stuff wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Before
How much
I did that
YouTube
show.
stuff had you done?
Well, it was more that I'd done a lot of cracked stuff that
Right.
had an internet presence too.
Right.
But it was just a very different kind of vibe than entering a
Sure.
narrative show like that.
Sure.
And it was, I don't know, it was interesting. That whole experience was not like, I really got so much from it.
Yeah?
And at the same time, sometimes it put me in my head a little bit.
Really? How so?
Yeah. Well, because, people were giving us a lot of attention while it was on, and, sometimes that makes you start to look at yourself from the outside and,
Yeah.
think about how you're doing or how people are seeing you. And that's never helpful for you to spend a lot of time in your head thinking about what other people are thinking of you.
That's really interesting.
You know?
Do you feel like that made you sort of want to separate yourself or like stay away a little bit from all the just like the tweets and the...
A little bit, yeah. And I think I more than most people in the cast have had trouble like keeping up with social media.
Well, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It definitely kind of made me withdraw sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because sometimes, for some of us, I'm also a very sensitive person, and so if I spend a lot of time on social media, like it takes a lot of energy out of me. Because as much as I'm an extrovert, I'm also just like I'm very sensitive, and so sometimes if I'm spending a lot of time on there, it drains my social energy a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a balance you have to strike up for yourself.
I don't blame you at all. I mean, I think we all kind of, I don't know, in different ways. Obviously, some of us were more sort of in that pool than others, but like, I know I had times where I was like, okay, I need to take a step back from this because it, like you said, like it's affecting my work, and that is not good.
Yeah, because any art like this, you want to spend as much time in it as possible and not spend a lot of time outside of it thinking about it.
And none of us had really like been in something in that way before where it was so like, I don't think, you know what I mean, where there was like all this attention and all of that, so it was like very new and weird for us. Yeah,
but I mean obviously it was great. It was so and we have the most supportive fan base.
They're amazing.
That I've ever seen.
They're incredible.
In terms of that, it's like we couldn't have been luckier in a lot of ways.
So true. Well,
sorry guys, I'm sucking up to you, but that's how
I
feel. Really,
it's true.
I have a whole wall, like I'm sure all of us do, with a bunch of stuff on it, like Mary Kate did. Yeah,
That's awesome.
And fan art that people gave me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool.
I put up fan art, and everybody makes fun of me for it. But I think it's awesome.
Someone made fun of me yesterday for it.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, because I have a bow tie on my wall.
Yeah, you do.
I do. Someone made me.
Well,
and they I don't know. They said something about it, and I was like, someone gave that to me. Someone made that for me.
Yeah, right?
I think it's cool. We had some good topics people were talking about.
Oh, yeah. If there's any... Ashley Clements and breakfast food are two of the most requested.
Yeah, those... I mean, I think we want to live up to our promise to talk only about Ashley. And today's episode can just be about her makeup. Makeup only.
Ashley Clements wants us to talk about her. A lot of other people want us to talk about her.
Sorry, I have nothing to say about that person.
Nothing to say about Ashley at all? God.
I'll be honest, I'm not totally sure who that is.
Ashley's awesome.
Ashley's awesome.
We love her. We did, though, I feel like somebody commented on how our cast feels pretty close, which obviously, like, time has passed and we all have, in some ways, sort of floated apart as you do, but on the whole, I do think we were very close and we remain good friends.
Yes, I would say that's true. And some of us still see each other quite a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know. But have you seen Laura in a while?
I see Laura all the time.
You do?
I see Laura all the time.
You see Laura more than I do.
And I see Julia fairly often. Mostly what I do is I call Julia.
Oh, yeah?
And it usually goes kind of like this. Julia and I did a play together, too, so we solidified...
Which you were great in.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Welcome.
That was when my much kind of discussed mustache came into the equation that people were not happy about.
People sure had opinions on that mustache.
I mean, I get it. But mostly what happens is I call Julia, and she's like, ugh, what do you want? I'm like, Julia, I want to talk on the phone. And she's like, no.
I can so hear her saying that.
We're going to.
We had that bond. I mean, I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you can do what we did and not bond. Because it was so, like...
It was a very singular experience.
Yeah, so strange and bizarre and great. Just rip it open! Wow, the brute
This is how to craft, people. This is how you craft.
You make the craft yours.
You make your craft yours. Sorry, how do you say it?
Yours. Can you talk a little bit about the other web stuff you've done, the cracked stuff and the Hollywood acting studio? Yeah,
so I've been doing videos with crack.com. Crack. Every time I say that, people are like, crack.com?
Yeah, crack.com.
Oh, crack.com. I'm like, yeah, crack.com. No, cracked.com, which I've done for years and years, right after I moved to LA. And I've produced a lot of stuff for them, and I've been in, I don't know, 50, 60 videos
Really?
for them. Oh, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know it was that many.
A whole bunch of them.
Wow.
And it's a great outlet for my ridiculous sense of humor, and I get to wear mustaches a lot.
You love that.
I think I've worn 5 or 6 mustaches.
Whoa!
I got to play Freddie Mercury recently.
Yeah!
For one of those videos.
That was a thing. Somebody wanted us to talk about Freddie Mercury. That's cool.
I'll tell you one thing. In researching that, because I didn't know that much about Freddie Mercury, I realized that Freddie Mercury is my spirit animal.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
It's about time.
It's about time.
It's about time I found one.
That's true.
Well, just a kind of unabashedly confident person. You know, someone who really didn't carry much shame around with him. He was, and not like in a cruel way, but a very like, I don't give a can I swear on
You can swear.
Stuff.
You sure can.
Yeah.
You might be the first. You might be the first person to swear on Craftversations.
Really?
But there's not a rule against it. Okay. You are welcome to express yourself.
So YouTube's not gonna
as you see fit.
Not gonna kick us off.
No, I think there are other videos where swearing happens on YouTube. I think.
I don't know. I've never seen one.
I'm not sure.
So he was just like such a, I don't know, just confident person, and someone who was so believed in his own skills and gift. And I was like, that is really cool.
That's awesome.
No apologies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool. That's not something I'm good at, like, at all. I'm trying to work on that.
What, self-confidence or no apologies?
Like, I say I'm sorry, like, 1,000 times a day.
Did you see that Amy Schumer sketch?
I don't think I have, actually.
There's an Amy Schumer sketch, if you guys watch Amy Schumer, which you do, probably.
Yeah.
Where it's this panel of like, female experts, basically, and there's a guy interviewing them, and they're all, like, NASA scientists and all this stuff, and basically this guy's like, we have a panel of amazing experts and we're gonna have them talk about different stuff, and they hand the mic to the first girl and she's like, so sorry, is this on? Okay, sorry. So I, and then, but she's, all the women are just saying sorry
the whole time,
the entire time.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And they're also these brilliant, confident, amazing women who are all like apologizing for their existence.
Yeah, I definitely have that. It's like both a habit and a stupid learned trait, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like do it without thinking. I'm trying to get really better at that.
Yeah, it's a curse.
Yeah, it can be difficult to do.
Because then you're just apologizing that you exist all the time.
I know, which is
I don't want to.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's a stupid way to behave.
I know.
Don't do it anymore.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
How are your letters going over here?
They're going okay. I'm trying to make them as straight as possible while eyeballing, which can be difficult. But so far, so good, I think.
There was a show called Hipsterhood that I did a little while ago that Julia helped produce, and it was on Blip TV.
Oh,
and that was
okay.
super fun.
That's cool.
Hollywood Acting Studio, which definitely some people saw, but it was a big departure tonally from Lizzie Bennet Diaries.
I watched some of that. I didn't watch all of it, but it was really funny. You were very funny in it.
Thank you. We had a really great time with that.
I think you took off your shirt at some point, and a lot
I did.
of screaming across the world happened.
I did. I mean, yeah. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say about that. But yeah, it was that we did for Stars for their first kind of foray into digital media, and my brother and I have been working on a new project that I'll tell you about at some point once it's ready.
That's exciting.
Oh, someone asked us about audiobooks, Mary Kate.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about it and I forgot.
You obviously listened to my
I sure did listen to it.
And we've talked about it privately already.
We have.
But let's talk about maybe the experience.
Yeah, how was you? Is that your only audiobook that you've done?
So there's 2 books in that series so far.
Okay.
And so I did both of them.
You did. I think I listened to the first one.
Probably, yeah.
House of Secrets.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's House of Secrets, Battle of the Beasts, the second one. But yeah,
I was super impressed.
It's interesting to do audiobooks, isn't it?
It sure is. Did you enjoy it? Would you do it again?
Totally. Yeah. I would totally do it again. I liked it.
Too.
But it's definitely challenging.
Yes.
It's surprisingly tiring.
Yeah. It is tiring. I was worried about my voice being tired, which wasn't so much the case as just my entire body being tired.
Yeah.
I got home at the end of the day and was like, just like laying on the bed.
Were you doing voices in yours?
Not at all as much as you were, for sure. Because yours was
it just
children's.
It necessitated that.
Right, sure. Yours was a little more younger, skewed a little younger, and of course had more cartoons. No, they're really hard to get up. I have tweezers for after we paint over them to get them. And you can use them now if you want. They're over there.
Oh my God. Okay. Ooh,
tweezers.
I'll tweeze.
I'll tweeze.
Fine, I'll tweeze.
Yeah, you did so many different fun, crazy voices.
It's just hard to keep track of them.
That is
And
difficult.
it's hard to switch because, in case you didn't listen to it, it's very like, you kind of go from neutral, where you're saying, he walked up the stairs, and then you switch to the voice and say, oh my God, let's get out of here, he said. And then you're like, constantly switching between parts of your voice.
And then it like bleeds over. I definitely
had a
had
bunch of
that
accents.
problem at a point. I also would have a hard time just like keeping them consistent in my brain. If you like visit a character early on and then they come back later, you're like, wait, what did they sound like? All my characters are bleeding together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is a lot for sure. But it is, I don't know.
It's fun though. It's cool. You get to read aloud all day, which luckily I like.
Yeah. Same.
Some people really don't like to read aloud.
I didn't think I would like it, but I ended up liking it a lot better. I think I just was a really fearful of the whole like making different voices thing.
Right.
But then once I stopped putting so much pressure on myself to like do, because obviously like it just is you reading the book and you can do your best to like make all these different characters, but at the end of the day you can only do as much as you can. I'm almost done.
Doing? Sweet.
We have 2 more letters to do. A lot of them
I like that you lined it up all on one side.
I've spent a lot of time on Pinterest. I can't really
Feels
take
like
the credit.
I should do that too now, but it's gonna take too long, right?
It's so your call. You get to do what I like yours though.
Do you? Is it kind of weird?
No, it's cool. I like that. It's like
insecure.
It's cute.
Oh,
Don't be insecure.
Yeah.
I like it.
You think that's cute? I mean, don't you think that's cuter though?
No.
You don't?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You do what you want.
Okay.
You can move it or you can keep it the way it is. It's so up to you. We have all our letters on. Ta-da!
There's a white one here that you can't see.
Well
it says,
done.
"We love you already."
I love that.
After my grandmother passed away a few years ago, I found a note that was, I think maybe my dad gave it to me. It was from my grandma and granddaddy, and it said, "Dear Daniel Vincent Gordh, welcome to this world. We love you already."
Oh my god.
Which is really sweet.
And
so
everybody's crying now.
So now
so lovely.
this is what we're doing.
I love that. That's so good.
Okay, so now we pick a color?
Right, now you pick a color. So I bought some new ones. I also have old ones that don't look as pretty.
Okay. All one color might be best, right?
Yeah, well, you could do multiple colors.
I feel like if I did, I would like fail in a really major way. Like I'd be like, uh-oh.
Then feel free to keep it simple.
We'll start simple.
I'm gonna go with just one, I think, for now. Wow,
We'll start simple. I'll do rainbow tie-dye.
Perfect. So you can like paint over the stickers, and then we'll peel them
What
off.
color should I use? I'm
Today
so insecure in this atmosphere.
Full of decisions.
Okay, well, burnt orange it is.
Oh, I like that.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like
I just
that.
made the decision.
Decision.
I just made the decision.
And feel free to open the paintbrushes and again, make the craft your own.
Again, craft. If you're gonna craft aggressively.
You are the most aggressive crafter we've ever had. I think you can take that title. Oh, I like that already.
Talk about burnt orange,
Talk
everyone.
about it. Talk about it.
Are we talking about it yet?
Are we talking about it?
Are we talking about it yet? If not, stop what you're doing.
And talk about it.
Pull over and talk about it. Email someone.
So, in the interim, when we were taking a break, we were sort of talking about how auditions suck. Do you want to discuss that more?
Yes.
I think,
Well,
I don't know if you know, I've been putting up a series on my channel called The Audition Chronicles.
I have, actually.
Yeah, where I vlogged all my auditions for over a year, and I totally thought people were going to think it was really boring. But surprise, they didn't.
They didn't.
They really like it, so I think people enjoy hearing about what that's like for us.
Yeah. So, you know, most auditions, or most actors, have to audition constantly. And you kind of, your job as an actor, I think, most of the time is actually trying to find jobs.
Yeah.
Most of the job is trying to get jobs. And one of the main ways you do that is through auditioning. And if you don't know much about the audition process in LA and, you know, for TV and film and stuff like that, like, it's not super set up to be actor friendly.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know, actors are kind of the last thing to get solidified in a project unless their names and kind of the funding and stuff kind of depends on these names. But otherwise, it's like the locations and crew and everything kind of gets set first, and then they're like, okay, we have everything set up, let's get our actors. And so we're kind of the last thing to get like put into a production. And so a lot of times things are super last minute. As people probably know, you get auditions for the next day that are 10 pages or more,
day.
Or sometimes that day, and you're supposed to prepare it and kind of expect it to be off book and ready to go. And sometimes you get it while you're working or while you're out of town or something like that. Yeah. And then you very well maybe asked to do 10 pages. And then once you get there, maybe you go work with your coach and you spend $100, and then when you get there, actually we only need to see the first scene, which is 2 pages.
All the time. That's so frustrating.
And there's no kind of acknowledgement that maybe you spent actually 8 hours preparing this whole thing, and 6 of those hours were on the second 2 scenes that no one bothered that they don't actually need. Yeah. So, it's not super actor friendly. It's more for the producers and casting directors and etc. than it is for us. So it's hard if you're putting all of your energy into auditions because it's so much is out of your hands.
Which sucks because it's this weird paradox where it's like, well, you better be ready and you better be willing to drop everything.
Right.
But at the same time, you can't care about it too much. You
know
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's such a mind trip sometimes, and you have to remind yourself. I mean, I do. I know. I get really stressed out about. It's every time. Sean and I had an audition together recently.
How did that happen?
They were wanting couples for some music video. And so I submitted us and we got called in and we went in, we got a call back, and in the call back I kind of messed up. Only that I kissed him and I wasn't supposed to. I was just supposed to walk away, but I was confused because it was different from the initial audition and it was fine. But I walked out being oh my god, I think I just lost us that. And Sean was like, it's fine. What we did what we had to do. We fixed it and went on. And I was like, no, I messed up. And it made me realize how I judge myself on auditions. I immediately come out of the room going, oh, I
messed up.
Yeah, I didn't
failed.
That. Which is such a terrible mental place to be in all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which I didn't even I've only recently started to realize. Yeah, it just kind of is a weird, sucky thing.
One of my old acting teachers used to say this to me a lot, which is that to be an actor, you need to have the soul of an angel and the hide of an elephant.
Whoa, interesting.
In that you need to... It's hard because our work requires us being vulnerable and sensitive and reactive.
Yep.
And the business requires us to be business people and not any of those things.
Yes.
And if you are those things, then it's going to be tough for you. So you have to kind of develop this bipolar kind of personality where you're like, I'm cutthroat and I don't have any emotions about this, and yet I feel so deeply.
It is so true. It's the weirdest, dumbest. It just doesn't make any sense.
So, but the answer largely is, as Mary Kate knows, making things that you want to make.
That's what I was going to lead to. You said you've really been developing your own stuff, which is great, and
it takes a lot of pressure off of, and this is for any industry. It takes pressure off of you. If you don't allow your happiness to be in someone else's control, it makes things a lot better. If you're okay, I have to figure out how to be happy on my own. I mean, we can rely on each other. We all need help from each other, but I can't let my happiness live in someone else's control, because then you're kind of screwed.
I'm realizing, yeah, it's true. I'm realizing more and more that all the actors that I know have some other thing that they do.
Yeah.
Even fairly successful ones, because it's just not sustaining, and you just can't put your happiness in it. And I know people that have been the leads on shows, for a couple years, and then the show gets canceled, and then they don't get anything else for a while. That too. I mean,
well, it's a trap to think that we're gonna arrive somewhere and say, well, I'd just be happy if
which
I get that big job, because we often we get competitive with other actors and we say they're doing this or this and this, and it's we don't know what that's like either. That's just as stressful in different ways, and the second that you get rid of the concerns you currently have and have new circumstances, there are new concerns in those circumstances. So if you really idolize people, it's kind of a trap sometimes.
It's a trap.
It's a trap! It's a trap! Oh, that's what I should have put on my... that would have been really funny, actually.
It's a trap!
It's a trap!
No, you're right, though. I have to remind myself that all the time. I fall into that a lot of oh, but she's doing so well, and I wish I was doing that well, and... Everybody has different problems, and it's easy on the outside to not see that.
Well, when you see someone who doesn't have the problems you have, it's easy to be it must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And that person's why do you think I'm so happy? I have all these problems.
It was, a couple years ago, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, I lived with one of my really good friends, Briga, who has done very well and has been on a lot of stuff. She was on a TBS show and was the lead, and when we were living together, this was before then, she had kind of just moved back from New York, and she started getting all this stuff. She was on Cougar Town, and that was really difficult for me as her roommate. Just obviously I love her, but and I told her, I was it's really hard for me to not be jealous of you, but at the same time, that's when all the Lizzie Bennet stuff was happening for me, and I feel it was this weird interlocking thing where we were both jealous of each other for different things.
Right.
And I was jealous of all her TV work, but I was going to conventions and had all these people that were stopping me for pictures and autographs, and she didn't have that, and it's just no matter what, there's something, that's the grass is greener issue for everybody.
And it's very easy to think, well, you're getting people are recognize you and they're getting your autographs and you're going to conventions. That must be so cool, and which it was. It was, of course, it was extremely cool, but it wasn't without its own stresses.
Right.
There are certain ways in which it, for me at least, put me in, which I mentioned earlier, put me in my own head and started to make me feel concerned with how I was being seen and stuff, and that's you can't do this job and you can't do any job for approval.
Yeah, that is so true. we go. I'm sorry, I'm always really awkward at the beginning.
Right, you were so loose, and now you're just choking up.
The camera's on. What do I do?